I'm Squinch with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Fansproject Warbot Steel Core, or WB-002. And what I find absolutely hilarious is it's copyrighted, which that's wonderful that they're copyrighting it, but I don't know, it just seems kind of weird if you ask me. Flip around here on this side, you see a nice picture of the steel core figure itself. You got his vehicle mode down here, all the way in the back, two-stage transformation. Robot vehicle should be just 2 stages, so I mean he should transform very easily. And then you got alternate weapon mode, gives you some details on like the robot's height and such. The cockpit gimmick, flip around this side, you got some art, got some warning labels. I mean it's a fairly nice packaging. As you can see, it's got this plastic outer shell and then the inner package and such. But you know, Steel Core is a really nice looking figure. Now, to be totally honest, I'm not 100% sure what he's supposed to represent. Some people say he's supposed to kind of represent Power Master Optimus Prime. I don't necessarily see it. I don't understand it. I'm sure someone's going to explain it to me. But you got the open package right there where you can see the figure inside there. I am kind of curious to see what we have here, so let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Steel Core opened up and out of its packaging, and just like with all my videos, starting off here in vehicle mode. Now, this is core, I guess. This is core, this is steel. When you combine them, you get Steel Core or something. I have no idea. And to be totally honest, I don't even have any kind of idea who this is supposed to kind of represent. This is Warbot-002, and Warbot-001 was supposed to represent Springer, which did a good job of doing so. I have no clue who this guy is supposed to represent. Now, some people say that this is supposed to replicate Energon Ultra Magnus. Some people say that this is entirely a new character created by Fansproject, and that's fine. I love the way that the guy looks. I do have some minor issues, but because he doesn't really represent an actual Transformer, he doesn't have a lot of sentimental value, I guess, to me. So I'm really kind of on the fence with this guy. But starting things off first, here is Core. And this is actually a pretty terrific figure. I mean, aside from the fact that he doesn't really peg together too well at the torso, and you can see a giant split right there. This guy is actually really nice. The level of articulation on here is fantastic. His head's on a ball joint, so you get range of motion, left, right, up, down. The arms here at the shoulders rotate, and then you can see that he also bends at the elbow, which is really kind of cool. His hips are on ball joints, so good range of motion, and he's got knee joints. So this is a Power Master sort of character, and I love the way that he looks. He's definitely very cool, and they do a really good job of creating this for us to actually enjoy. Now, he can obviously sit inside the vehicle. You just open that up. You actually have to leave the arms down, but bend him at the elbow, like so, and then straighten out his legs, and then bring him in, and he sits in there perfectly fine, except his head just went back. Poor head. And you can see that he sits in there and he can pilot steel, I guess, and then you close that, and I mean, that's really very cool. It's definitely a feature I really like. Now, in terms of the vehicle mode here, it's really kind of strange. It really isn't much of anything. I mean, flipping around here, it's just kind of, it's not even really a tank. It's just kind of, I guess, some kind of a transport device. I mean, I really have no idea. It does kind of look like you can attach a trailer to him because there's a little hole right here, which you'll see off later on, and then you got this empty section here. So I don't know if that's what the intent is. I'm just kind of flying blind with this one, guys. Sorry. As you can see, there is an Autobot logo that's added onto it. I just think that looks a whole lot better. There's a couple other stickers that are randomly added on there just to bring out some extra detail. I think that looks really cool right there. I really dig that. Brings out a whole new thing. Here's his weapon, and I don't even know where you stick his weapon. I don't even think you can stick his weapon on here. So we'll just set that off to the side for right now. But the vehicle mode, I mean, for whatever it is, I mean, it's a Cybertronian mode of sorts. It's kind of cool looking, but I really have no idea what it's supposed to represent. It definitely does kind of have like a Cybertronian Ultra Magnus vibe with these like smokestacks here on the side, I guess, but really that's all I got for you. I have nothing else. So to transform him, you just come around here to the side, you just untab these legs from here. Well, these are actually his feet. You can untab those, kind of loosen this up. Just rotate these down, bring this down, Do that on this side as well. Gotta straighten those out. Those are all on extra joints, and then rotate these. That was already rotated. Take these little bits, fold these down, and come around here to his feet. Fold out his heels, which is very nice to see, because if you guys remember, the original Warbot didn't have heels, which sucked. And then this joint right here, you have to really push very hard on this, almost to the point where I fear that at some point in time it could stress and possibly break. But there we go. Get that all the way up there, and here you have his legs done, and pretty simple, to be totally honest. But there's his legs. To the top, and then just take this section here, split this. Now he's holding his gun on this side, so just split that all the way down, rotate this down, untab this from the side, extend that out, rotate that all the way down, do that on this side as well, rotate that around, extend that out, this little thing untabs, fold this out, straighten this out like so, fold that back. Well, probably should have took him out, but set that back. That's gonna tab down there. Why are his legs backwards? Because I'm retarded. His feet are supposed to be around like this. Sorry. I know so many of you guys are watching that beginning part of that video like, no, you have his legs wrong, stop it. And straighten that out, straighten out his head, and believe it or not, there you have Steel in his robot mode. And then for one like final piece, you take Core, take his head, rotate it around, tuck that down, fold the hands down, rotate this bit around like so, kind of get these legs out of the way. This little bit here is going to tab together, this folds up, that tabs into place. In there's a little tab there that you got to get it in. There we go. Keep this as straight as possible. Fold this up, tab that in there, so you have it like so, and yeah, that's the best I have for sound effects. And then his gun, you can just take and fold this out like so. I mean, this gun is really kind of all over the place. You can do so many different things with this gun. It's really kind of insane. But here you have Steel Core in his robot mode and looking really friggin' awesome. Now, physically speaking, as I said, I have no clue what this figure is supposed to represent or what character he's kind of based off of. But that really does not stop him from looking like a terrific looking Transformer. If you have an imagination, you can really kind of make him be whoever you want him to be. And that's a fun factor all in itself that a lot of figures don't really have. And sadly, at least for me, keeps me from actually kind of identifying with this character or this particular figure because I don't have much of an imagination. But I can still recognize how cool this figure really is. The color, the blue and the gray along with the black on here, really sharp and really brings out a very heroic kind of look to him. If this guy is not like a prime sort of character, he definitely could be one. He has a very noble, very leader sort of appeal to him. And as I said, you can see some extra stickers here as you got a nice little Autobot logo stuck there on his crotch. But the sheer look of this figure is absolutely wonderful. Now the gun, like I said, you can really kind of position this anyway. This kind of flops over where it kind of looks like it's coming out of his hand. You can flop it down like this where it's an underhanded weapon. You can flop it up like this. You can then take this, and honestly, this is really kind of the weirdest aspect of him. You can give him that, which I really have no idea what that's supposed to be. That's really kind of weird and goofy. I just prefer to leave it, and I guess you could leave it like that and have it kind of be a battering ram or something. I like leaving it like this, where it looks like it's coming out of him. I don't particularly like the underhand look. So I like it like this. I'm a big fan of how in a lot of new continuities the weapons seem to come out of the arm, so I really dig that. That's something that's very cool. And then the other feature that I guess you could kind of say yes, if you open these, he's got little missile pods inside there, which that's kind of cool. They don't do anything, but some nice painted detail on there, and then they just close up and boom, they're hidden. Now, in terms of his articulation, his head is on a very nice ball joint, so a good range of motion, looking up, looking down, left, right. The arms here are on ball joints, so good range of motion as well here at the shoulder. They also have a little bit of a ball joint here. Well, not a little bit. They actually have a ball joint here at the upper part of the shoulder, and he also bends here at the elbow. Doesn't rotate at the wrist, but as part of the transformation, it moves forward and back, I suppose. Nothing at the waist, which honestly I thought that he did, but no, I'm wrong. Hip articulation, which is on a nice little ball joint as well, but then it also rotates, and you can kind of sort of see down there, there's two different sections right there, but the ball joint is so good on here that really that's almost kind of pointless to have that, but it gives added articulation. His knees are on two joints, so good range of motion. You can have him kicking his butt, and then the feet are on ball joints, so they got a nice little pivot, and you can get some much wider stances with the guy, which does really look, like I said, very heroic and very kind of prime-ish. I mean, that's awesome looking. Honestly, I really do not have any problems with this figure except one, and that is going to be his price. Now, when he was initially released, the price was not all that bad. It's the aftermarket that is absolutely killing the price of this guy. If you want to go and get him, you're going to have to pay close to $300 to pick him up, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the one very cool thing is for less than $300, I'm going to put a link down in the description. You can actually go to Fansproject directly, and there, I don't know if it's a pre-order or what yet, but you can get this guy, the original Warbot 1, and the upcoming, I think it's called Assaulter, which is basically Broadside, the triple changer. All three of them, you can get it for less than $300, which is a wonderful, wonderful deal. And if you are interested in picking this guy up, I absolutely recommend going that route. This is a very fun character. One of the huge pluses that I have with this guy is that he is much easier to transform than what we got with the first Warbot. That thing was just a mess. Now, it was a triple changer, so it was a little bit more complicated. This guy's a lot more easier because, well, he's only got two modes. So naturally, this guy's going to be a lot easier, but I love what they did with him. The transformation is fun and simple, yet very effective in doing what it needs to do. Now, to transform him back, what you want to do, go ahead and take out Core. Again, you can transform him, rotate the head, well, split that out, fold the legs out, rotate the head, and this whole section here kind of locks together, not really, but again, really kind of cool. I do like the Target Master on here. I'd like to see him actually incorporate some Headmaster sort of things in here. That would be cool. So set him off to the side, and open this bit, just like so. Then you're gonna see, rotate this around. What am I doing? Actually, I have no idea what I'm doing. Fold these up, then fold these up, just like so, and then take these, and these are going to slot, keep that down, keep that slotted in, and give that a little push, line that up like so. Do that on this side as well. You see the little tab right there at the top that goes into that little slot right there. Just kind of angle that in, and that locks in nicely. Go ahead and rotate these around. Again, this is, well, I'm making this a lot more complicated than it needs to be, because all you do is position it like this, fold this up, and that'll tab into place. So go ahead, rotate this around, fold this up, do that on here as well. And then one thing that I like doing actually is taking this gun and just kind of angling this out for right now, just so that you can get in here and actually do everything that you need to do, because this will get to be a pain in the butt here in a second. Tab that in, just like so. Keep these separated for right now. Well, I'm sorry, keep those tabbed in like that. Make sure that all those tabs are in there. That's the only really kind of negative side, the tab situation. Once you get it when it's like this, you're going to notice that there's a little section right inside here. You got a little tab with little holes. Just rotate this around, give that a nice little push inside there, and that's going to lock that into place just like so. And that really is the most complicated part about this transformation. Come around here, lift this section up, and then again, this bit right down here is really kind of tough. You have to really kind of give it a pull, and I don't want to obviously break anything. There we go. And you hear that snap. That's a good snap, so don't worry about that. And then take these, again, rotate these around. It's really simple to actually transform. I'm just making it so much more difficult than it needs to be right now. Rotate this around. That's going to kind of lock up here. We'll do that here in a second with all the locking. Bring that up as well. I'll fold the little heels away. And then your real best bet, again, there's more tabs in here. You got a tab on the inside of his foot, and then you got a hole right there. Your best bet is to line that up as best as you can. And it's not easy to do because you really can't see what's going on underneath there. But once you get it, there you go, and then you push that in like so. Kind of squish that in. Do that on this side as well. Lock that in. And then there's another tab right there. Keep these up a little bit, kind of squish this together. Bringing this in. This section right here locks together nicely, and you kind of have to wiggle things to get things to position properly. Keep you out of the way. You're being a pain in the butt. Here we go. Let's see. Give it a good squeeze. There we go. And there you have Steel Core back in his vehicle mode. Now, Steel Core is absolutely a fantastic figure for you to have in your collection. You can really kind of create your own character with them and have a lot of fun with it. Now, much like every Transformer in history, this particular transforming car is a little bit difficult to get back into its actual car mode, or whatever mode this is. But that's not very uncommon. Throughout history, Transformers have always had one mode that's a little bit easier than the other. Going to robot mode is very simple with this guy. Getting him back is a little bit more tricky. Vehicle mode is probably the weakest just because it really doesn't look like much, and I can't figure out exactly what it is. It really does kind of look like some kind of like a truck that would haul something, but I can't tell. And the robot mode is absolutely fantastic looking. It really looks good and is a lot of fun to pose and really kind of play with. Combine the fact that he comes with a little dude and the green thing. This figure is well worth picking up, but not for the $300 that he's going for on things like eBay. If you are interested in picking this guy up, again, like I said, I'm going to put a link down in the description. You can go ahead and click on it and check out the 3-pack sort of set that Fansproject is putting out, which includes this guy, WB-002, the very first edition, the Not Springer figure, and the Assaulter figure, which is coming out later on. You get all 3 of them for less than $300. That is a fantastic deal, and I would recommend picking that up all day long, especially if you want to get this guy. Because the other ones are nice to have. Well, at least the Not Springer one's nice to have. Not too sure about the Assaulter yet, but we'll see. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Fansproject WB-002 Steel Core figure, and until next time, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.